You know, I know it's difficult for us to wrap our minds around wickedness so great that people would plot to get the country into war at the expense of young, patriotic men and women. But this is exactly what has happened, and this must be why Paul said, we war not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and the rulers of the darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness that is in high places. So we entered the war in Vietnam, and after Vietnam, in the modern era now, here we are, 9/11, the World Trade Center destroyed. And of course, the story that was told was that it was in fact Muslims. I held a press conference on September the 16th, 2001. And I warned President George W. Bush to be careful of how he responded to such an act of the destruction of nearly 3,000 lives. But remember, at Pearl Harbor, we lost nearly 3,000 again. And the Navy was almost completely destroyed to get America into war. What I'm trying to say to us is our lives mean little when those in high places see a bigger gain through war. Well, a few days after 9/11 and the press conference, I mentioned that this was the beginning of a war against Islam. Now, there are scientists today who say that Muslims had nothing to do with the destruction of the World Trade Towers. And we had some of these great scientists to visit the Nation of Islam at our Savior's Day convention and gave irrefutable truth and facts that would make a brass monkey sit up and take notice. Now, let's look at some of the questions around the bombing of the World Trade Center. Right before 9/11, unusually high levels of put options were placed on the stocks of American and United Airlines and corporate tenants of the World Trade Center. These are market bets that give the bettor a profit if stock goes down. According to Bloomberg Business Use, this would be one of the most extraordinary coincidences in the history of mankind if it was in fact a coincidence. How was the FBI able to release a list and photos of the hijackers within hours, and why have at least 5 of the 19 alleged hijackers turned up alive and well living in Saudi Arabia? How could these alleged hijackers have known that multiple classified air defense drills were planned for the morning of 9/11, leaving only 2 fighter jets available to protect the entire northeastern United States? Why was Attorney General Ashcroft warned to stop using commercial airlines prior to 9/11? How come the hole in the Pentagon was 18 feet across, but the wingspan of a 757 is 146 feet? Things to consider, wouldn't you think? How come a little single-engine Piper PA-28 plane that crashed into the IRS office in Texas did more damage to that building than a 757 jetliner did to the Pentagon? How does a pilot that failed his lessons on a one-engine propeller plane pull off maneuvers only a highly trained airline pilot could do? A 270-degree turn at 500 miles an hour, descending 7,000 feet in 2.5 minutes into a direct hit. Well, all of this makes us wonder, was this another lying wonder that is spoken of by Paul? The U.S. Maine was a lying wonder. People wondered, how did we get into that war? World War I, the lies told. World War II, lies told. Vietnam, lies told. And here, in the lead up to the war with Iraq and Afghanistan, all of the members of the Bush government told lies. I'm sorry, Condoleezza Rice, you lied. Colin Powell lied. Cheney and Rumsfeld lied. Bush lied. What was the lie? That Iraq and Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. So America bombed. It was called shock and awe. But did they find weapons of mass destruction? No. Another lie, and thousands of Americans were hurt or killed, and hundreds of thousands of Iraqis were destroyed.